Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. So new Invoked support in Beyond the Brave. Let's take a look. As somewhat expected, you know, we recently got at least the new Invoked support here in the TCG. It's solid, it definitely has potential, but I can't say I'm surprised. At least I'm not surprised. So two new cards. The first one is this one. So Invocation Chalice. It's a new fusion spell that, short set, it lets you use one fusion material either from your deck, or if your opponent controls a monster, you can use a monster on their side of the field. And as you know, with the Invoked monsters, the attributes are important, obviously. So the extra deck is getting really tight, and even more tight because of this one. A new fusion also in Beyond the Brave that whenever it's fusion summoned or summoned, special summoned I think as well, you can either destroy all spells and traps from the opponent or all their special summoned monsters from the extra deck. It also can negate, when it's face up on the field, a graveyard effect, and then, you know, special summon. So the card is pretty good. It's also a super poly target. And speaking of super poly targets, as you know, was it 1 or 2 weeks ago, when we reviewed Invoked for the last time, that, as you know, we in the TCG also got a new super poly target. What was it? A TCG exclusive. Forgot the name. Which also can be main decked here in the extra deck. So a lot of super poly targets. So, super poly, right. So let's see the new stuff. I like this new fusion spell, the fact that it kind of feels like a branded fusion, because again, you can use one of your materials from your deck. And at the same time, it's a card that also functions well going second. Again, you are able to use an opponent's monster for the fusion set. So it's not, you know, its only purpose is not a going second card. So that's something I definitely like. There's only one downside though, that this new fusion spell, it's not searchable. You can't search it off of any of your new stuff, off of your Invoked engine or whatever. So that's a huge bummer. Imagine if it was searchable. Then it would have been really solid, both going first and going second. So, we got thanks to talents we got information about our hand so we can play around it. Elysium is one of the, if not the boss monster. Well, you have also one of the newer ones, that, what is it, nukes your opponent's extra deck, which I currently have it as a 2-off. It's going to get summoned, yeah, that one, because, you know, you can use your banished materials to get it on the field. So what was it, 4 fusions used, right? With different attributes, so we can nuke, or 3, up to 3, I guess, yeah, 3 different attributes, at least banish 3 different attributes from their extra deck. Try to attempt to enter the battle phase, and they should be more than enough. Yeah, both fusions are indeed more than enough. So go first, but into Foa, let's see. How are we playing into Foa? It still kind of sucks though. Because sure, you can end on like this, but it's a little mediocre, even with only 1 droplet. And speaking of non-engine, again, because it's OG Aleister, you have many 1-card combos, easy 1-card combos, that lead into pretty solid boards, so there's a lot of room for hand traps and disruption, non-engine, board breakers. Anyway, so we are giving them a couple of draws, but I think it was well worth it. The next one would have been Elysium, set the trap, set droplet pass. But they do have the 5 mana, so here I think droplet definitely pays off. It prevents them from getting 2 materials back from the graveyard, or bounce one of my materials. Sadly we are getting met by the bell, but we still have one of the fusion spells. Yep, so we were able to search a couple of moments ago. So we go for this one. Important because it's just, again, a flexible card, because I needed a fusion monster to get rid of their stuff on their field. And you know, it also triggers during their turn, so you know where I'm going at. Anyway, so again, how many draws did we give them? And we still end on a pretty solid board. They do have Imperm for Elysium, so let's see. But they are going to get wrecked though, because Konami decided to give this deck, as you know, like a macro cosmos with on legs, with what was it, 3k defense and 3k attack. So we are able to cheat it out with the trap. So now, because it's an extra monster zone, is it monsters? I think so. Monsters are sent from, you know, from your opponent, not to the graveyard, so banished. We go for the new one, the Aeon. I'm not going to butcher its name. Banish 2, I think, and then get rid of, I assume, 3 cards. Yeah. And they pass because of the Macrocosmos, so it's getting banished, which is all fine. Really cool that we're able to keep the Elysium on field. That's important, again, that once per turn banish can be important, right? And now, yeah, we can just establish our board. We can go for Mechabat just in case of Nip. Not so sure which cards we know in the hand. Or do we know the hand? I don't think so. I think we know one. I think. Anyway. So last one, going second. And again, this is where the deck also shines, because you're playing a lot of non-engine, the crowns, the droplets, the super polys, the new fusion spell, so you see it definitely will have potential. The Fua helps. It prevents them from going for a stronger board during their turn. It's still killer, it's still cool tune, so they are ending on a solid board either way. But they got free information about our hand, so they saw Droplet, they saw Call By, they saw 5 spells. Let's keep it like that. The Invocation draw is it's definitely good because the Aleister is going to get negated because they don't know we do have the Invocation in hand. So this is you know what's coming. You know what's coming. Oh no, in a few moments. Not going to spoil it just yet, but as an Invoked player, if you're an Invoked, you know what's coming. This is all fine. They are banishing one random card from our extra deck. We want to keep the Aleister on field, so that's why we use Call By. There is no further response, they keep the fusion spell. So now we go for the Invocation. No response. We can go for the new one. Obviously use its effect. Harpies feathers the entire back row. And as you know, because of the Invocation field spell, your opponent is not able to respond. Always. People always forget, or was it intentional, you know, just keep your stuff, because I can still use their fusion right on field. If it has a... I mean, it doesn't matter, it's just a monster special summon from the extra deck. Alright, so I don't think it mattered. Yeah, because we're still able to, or at least we would have been able to use their extra deck monster. Anyway, we were able to establish the board, and I think we know the last card in hand because it was searched, so this should be more than enough. The Aleister link, because the extra deck is kinda tight, I still think it's needed because of this, like big pushes, potential OTK push. Might be important to search another Invocation and to turn a dead card in hand, a Fua or something like that, into a fusion spell. Okay, so this should be more than enough, right? So, the new support, I like it. Whenever, at least, I'm honest, the first time I read both cards, I was like, okay, these seem okay-ish, but, you know, whenever you got to start playtesting, you're like, oh, this new fusion spell is pretty solid. Will it be a 3-off for the archetype, you know, when it will hit the OCG and TCG? I don't know, yes and no, because it's a strong card, but it's not searchable, so that's another argument that you could say that, yeah, it might be a 3-off if you want. Okay, that's it, new fusion as well, super poly target, keep that in mind. So, suggestions are definitely welcome. Okay, guys, thanks for watching, feel free to leave a comment or like. If you enjoyed the video, leave them signing out. Peace.